You know that feeling, right? That frustrating moment with an AI where you ask for something specific, and it gives you an answer that's, well, technically correct, but completely and utterly useless. If that sounds familiar, then you are in exactly the right place. We are about to break down a single concept that is going to fundamentally change how you get results from any AI.
So let's start with this big idea right here. The AI isn't failing you, you failed to provide the map. Now, hold on, this isn't about blaming anyone, it's about a huge shift in perspective, looking away from the machine for a second and back at our own methods. Because honestly, once you get this, you unlock the whole thing.
Okay, so let's diagnose this problem, because it happens to everyone. Why do we so often get these useless generic answers from what's supposed to be this incredibly brilliant tool?
Well, here's the surprising part. The most common reason AI fails isn't some bug or flaw in the AI itself. Nope. It's almost always a single missing ingredient from our side of the conversation. Think about it like this. An AI is like a world-class chef. If you walk in and just say, "Cook something delicious," they might have all the skill in the world, but they're paralyzed. They have no idea what to do, so they have no choice but to make you something super bland and generic.
And that missing ingredient? It has a name: ambiguity, a lack of clarity. And it is without a doubt the #1 killer of good AI outputs. When an AI doesn't have a clear map, a clear direction, it's forced to guess. And its guess is always going to be the most boring, middle-of-the-road, safest option possible.
So, to fix this, we need to totally reframe our role. It's time to stop being a passive passenger in the car, just hoping we end up somewhere good. It's time to start being the GPS.
And this side just nails the difference. Look at the left side. The passenger gives a vague command like write a professional email and then just crosses their fingers. And what do they get? A useless generic template. But on the right, you have the GPS, the navigator. They provide layers of rich context. The topic is a new product launch. The audience is our existing clients, and the goal is to drive pre-orders. The result? A precise, powerful, and actionable email. See the difference?
This whole act of providing those layers of context, it actually has a name. It's called context engineering. This isn't just about writing a slightly better prompt. It's about intentionally designing and architecting the entire information environment the AI sees. You are literally building its world for that specific task. So you're probably thinking, okay, that sounds cool, but how do I actually do that? Well, the good news is there's a super simple, really powerful framework you can start using immediately. It's called the 5 Ws method, and these are basically the buttons and dials for your AI GPS.
Just think of this like a journalist checklist. You know, the way they make sure they get the full story. By answering these 5 simple questions before you even start writing your prompt, you create this incredibly detailed map that just wipes out almost all ambiguity.
First up is the who, and honestly, this one might be the most important layer of them all. This is where you set the entire tone and relationship for the whole interaction by defining 2 really key things.
First, the persona. Who should the AI pretend to be? And second, the audience. Who is it talking to? Just look at that example. By telling the AI to act as a reassuring financial advisor, writing to an anxious young couple, you're not just asking for information, you're programming it with empathy, with a specific style and a laser focus. It completely transforms the output.
Okay, next up, after you've set the stage with the characters, we've got to get crystal clear on the what. This is the actual substance of your request, and it means defining the topic and, just as importantly,
The goal. And I mean the single most important goal. A vague objective will always lead to a vague result. So you've got to be explicit. Saying the goal is to get them to click a link focuses all of the AI's creative energy on that one specific outcome.
All right, so you've defined the people and you've defined the point. Now it's time for where, which is really all about the container that this output needs to fit into. This is where you specify the format.
And any constraints. Is this a 200-word email, a script for a 60-second video, a 10-slide presentation? Defining this structure beforehand is so important because it ensures the AI delivers something that's actually usable right out of the box.
Now we start adding a really strategic layer, the why. This isn't just what you want, but the deeper intent behind the command. You have to be clear on the underlying purpose of the communication. What do you really want your audience to think or feel or do after they read this? Giving the AI the why, like in the example, to build trust and reduce anxiety, allows it to make much smarter, more subtle choices with its language to achieve that exact emotional impact. It's a game changer.
And finally, we have the how. This is where you provide all the fine-tuning controls. You can think of these as the final, absolute guardrails for your request.
These are your non-negotiable rules in your constraints. Simple things, right? Use a warm tone. Do not use complex jargon. Make sure you reference the rates in this document. These little instructions are what prevent common errors and make sure the final output is perfectly aligned with what you actually need.
So, there you have it. We've just walked through exactly how to take complete control of an AI's output using the 5 Ws. This is an incredibly powerful skill, for sure, but it also comes with a pretty significant responsibility. And that brings us to this powerful realization. An AI isn't some independent brain out there thinking for itself. It's a mirror. It doesn't create its own reality. It simply and perfectly reflects the one that you provided to it.
And this, right here, is the ethical heart of everything we've been talking about. The context you engineer becomes the AI's reality for that task. So, if the map you give it is biased or incomplete or even intentionally manipulative, well, the AI's output is going to reflect that perfectly. We have a real responsibility to make sure the map we're drawing is a fair and honest one.
So this all brings us to one final thought. Mastering AI isn't about memorizing some magic prompt. It's about becoming a thoughtful architect of information. It's about realizing that with every single interaction, you are building a tiny reality for that AI to operate within. So the real question isn't just, what can I get from an AI, but rather, if my AI is a mirror, what will I choose to show it?